Do I think all screenwriters need agents? Well, that's an interesting question because I don't think you need the agent you sometimes think you do, and I don't think you really need an agent if you have a way of selling yourself to the community. So you could find that your professor can be your agent. A lot of people think that they've got to have an agent in order to get to the key to the business. But truthfully, if you wrote something that's so impassioned a professor that he put a letter on your script and it went out to the people that were in the development systems of various places, they're going to pay attention to that because they're going to figure that that professor sees a lot of writers. And they're going to think, wow, if he's impressed, then we should take a look. So sometimes you can break the system and you can actually get people to pay attention to you without an agent. There are also systems. I'm affiliated with a company called Scriptshock. I don't get any money from them. I just like what they do. The guys that founded that were friends of mine. They were allies. And it is a company that specializes in trying to help writers find their voice, give them notes before they get into the professional system, or sometimes when they're working on professional things and they want to be supported. And Scriptshock gives you feedback and gives you notes, and they will frequently find a script that's so good they will actually champion it, and about 5% of their scripts or more end up getting either an agent or getting set up or getting a producer interested through that system. So there's another way that you can get into film without actually having an agent. And if you ask about what kind of agent you should get, my attitude is get what I call a foul weather friend. We tend to want to get the biggest agent in town because they represent the biggest people. And in fact, what you're looking at is taking your life, trying to sell yourself as a creative entrepreneur, and then you're timesing that by the number of people that that agent represents and expecting them to solve your problems. In fact, I think getting an agent is the beginning of when you work. And the first thing you got to do, if you do get an agent, is work with their assistant. Treat that person as a human being, treat them as an ally in your life, take them to lunch, find out why they're there. Frequently the people that are working as assistants have been through the grill at the agency, they've done the mailroom, they know all the other assistants, they know the whole process of what's going on, who's buying what, who's the best people to be with, and they can, if you take the time to get to know them and it's a sincere effort, they can end up being an agent, being your ally, or they can be the person that says, your kind of writing isn't quite right for my guy, I know him well, but there's another new guy over here is just starting out, doesn't have any clients, he used to be an assistant, maybe you should be with him because he's got to sell you to make his career. So frequently for me, the idea is not to find the biggest agent, but to find the best one, and the way you get to that is by writing humanistic letters or by making humanistic approaches and researching those agents. There's a thing called IMDb Pro, which you can sign up for a short period for very little money, and you can look up the agencies of the people that you really respect as writers, and then you can write letters to those agents or to their assistants that tell them that you understand the quality of the people that they're working with, and you think you might have some of those qualities. And if you write that kind of letter that acknowledges them as a person, that acknowledges what they've accomplished, acknowledges what you understand about their business model, they're going to take a little bit more time and look at you. And frequently, I will bring an assistant from an agency into my MFA class, and he will or she will then put the perspective on the students about how this process works. And she or he will often say, the letters that we get are awful, they're misspelled, and yet you're trying to sell us your writing. And they frequently are spam letter, they're all block out, and there's no humanity or heart in them, so we don't feel anything for them. So the truth is, the more you reach out, the more chance you have of somebody reaching back. And making the effort to learn a little bit about the people you want to sell your work to is a solid and valuable thing, and it's something you have to do in any kind of communication. So I hate the word make. I ask my students to read things like How to Win Friends and Influence People, because this is a business about relationships. Even when you go to a pitch, really the pitch isn't to sell the story. Half of the pitch is to see whether those executives want to work with you for 2 years on a project. And I always say there's no bad pitch if you sell from passion and if you collaborate with the people in a way that you don't give up what you want to achieve, but they can see themselves being able to work with you and get to the goals that will make their careers succeed and make their bosses happy.